The following graph gives information about the view of a street in fog. This is a very dull picture taken in a fog for a view of a street. According to this graph, at the central area, there are 3 bicycles ridden by women at the front, and the color of them is black. You can see from this graph that behind the bicycles, a white, thick blanket of fog covers a lot of people and street lights. What's more, in the background, 4 straight dashed lines lie on the road, and the color is white. Finally, the weather is foggy and the sky is grey.
The following graph gives information about pounds of chocolate consumed per capita. In Sweden, the value is 11.9, and that of Australia is lower, which is around 10.8. You can see the highest number is in Switzerland, 19.8. What's more, the lowest one is in France, just 9.3. To sum up, Switzerland consumes more chocolate than any another county does.
The following graph gives information about New Zealand house price. The items include New Zealand and OECD. According to this graph, in 1990, the value of New Zealand is around 100, and that of OEC is almost the same. What's more, the highest number of New Zealand is 250, which is in 2007. Finally, New Zealand is higher than OECD. In conclusion, OECD has smaller changes. The following graph gives information about percentages by age and sex. The items include age groups, female and male. According to this graph, in male, the value of 85 plus is around 0.7, and that of 75 to 84 is higher, which is around 3. You can see from this graph that the highest percentage of female is in 25 to 34, about 16.5. What's more, the lowest share of male is 0.7 for those above 85. To sum up, the two sexes have similar age distributions. The following graph gives information about Europe. Positions of different countries are displayed on the map. At the central area, we can see Austria, Germany, Poland, and Czechia. In the left area, there lie Ireland and Portugal. According to this graph, the largest country is Russia, which is located on the right side. In comparison, small countries include Denmark and Belgium. In conclusion, there are many European countries shown on the map.
The following graph gives information about average weekly household expenditure. According to this graph, the items include food, medical, transport, and holidays. You can see from this graph that the value of food is 123, and that of medical care is 50. The number of transport is 124. What's more, the lowest expenditure is 33, and it is for holiday. The highest one is 164, which is for housing. To sum up, this graph tells about weekly household spending in Ireland.
The following graph gives information about volunteer work. The items include male and female. The horizontal axis is year, ranging from 1990 to 2004. According to this graph, in 1990, the value of male is around 26, the same as female. What's more, the highest percentage of male is 45, which is in 2004. Generally, that of male is higher than female, and the highest point of female is 30. In conclusion, there is a gap between male and female on volunteer work. The following graph gives information about fast food times a week. The items include every day, once a week, and never. According to this graph, in several times a week, the value of July 2003 is around 17%, and that of 2013 is lower, which is around 16%. You can see from this graph that the highest number of December 2006 is in about once a week, around 33%. What's more, the lowest one of July 2013 is in every day, around 3%. To sum up, the graph tells about how often Americans eat fast food. The following graph gives information about fast food consumption by meal. The items include breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. According to this graph, in breakfast, the value is around 22.7%, and that of snack is the lowest, which is around 22.6%. You can see from this graph that the highest percentage of lunch is 43.7. What's more, the second highest number of dinner is 42%. In conclusion, fast food consumption has four kinds: The following graph gives information about plastic bottle recycling. The steps include new bottles, refilling, used bottles, and plastic processing. According to this graph, the first step is newly produced bottles, which are empty. After that, the second step is to fill the empty bottles with beverage. You can see from this graph that the third step is to open the bottles and drink up it, followed by the fourth step to transport used bottles back to the factory and use them as materials. Finally, the plastic materials turn into new bottles waiting for refilling. To sum up, this graph tells about recycling of plastic bottles.